Hello, chess fans. Welcome to another edition of Chess Chat, brought to you live from the Workers' Credit Union studios at Fitchburg Access Television. I am George Marajanian, Program Director of the Watches Chess Club at Fitchburg State University. This club was meeting Wednesdays from 7 to 11 in the McKay complex at the university, but we have been in suspension since mid-March of this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, we've taken a 4-month hiatus. This is our first show live from FATV since we were suspended, our operations were suspended in mid-March. But with me, once again, at Chess Chat, is our award-winning director, Darren Dame of Fitchburg. He is the winner, by the way, of the prestigious FATV Bold Award in 2009. And assisting him in the control room is our longtime Watches Chess Club member, Brian Bigelow, also of Fitchburg. And across from me, a little farther across from me than usual, due to safe social distancing, is chess player, chess author, chess composer, chess wizard.
Chess composer.
Yeah, everything. My friendly co-host, Dave Kuchar, Westminster. Hi, Dave.
Hi, George.
Good to see you after a 4-month hiatus.
Yeah.
And it's good to be back at FATV doing a live show from the FATV production center. Well, Dave, our show today is about the 2020 candidates tournament that was actually aborted, suspended in late March of this year. Like, what are we going to tell our viewers? First of all, what is a candidates tournament? What am I talking about when I say
candidates is the tournament of 8 of the top players in the world to determine who's going to challenge the world champion.
And who's the world champion?
Magnus Carlsen.
Of Norway.
Supposed to be later this year originally, but that's not going to happen now.
All right. So there was a tournament held, and it was held in Yekaterinburg, Russia, which, by the way, happens to be the 4th largest city in Russia. It's the 3rd, actually, size and as far as importance. It actually was dubbed the 3rd capital of Russia. Some people have dubbed it the 3rd. But that's where the tournament was held, and we had, 8 players, the top, including some of the top players of the world. Now, our director, Darren Dame, has some photos of these participants. Let's start showing some photos of the participants from the candidates tournament. All right, so who do we have here? I'm looking. This is actually the youngest. This is actually the Russian Kirill Alexeyenko.
No, this is Rajabov.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is This is Kirill. This is Kirill Alexeyenko, who's a Russian, the youngest player. I think is 23 years old.
He was a wild card.
He's a wild card. Okay, let's go on to the next player who's playing in this candidates tournament. Now this is Grishuk. Isn't this Alexander Grishuk?
Yep.
He's the oldest. I think he's 36. He's from Russia, a Russian player. Okay, he has a very high ranking. This happens to be Napomniachtchi. Is this actually?
No, this is Giri.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anish Giri. I'm sorry. This is Anish Giri, who lives in Holland. I mean, he was born in Russia, but he's now a Dutch resident.
Yep.
Okay, let's go on to the next player. This looks like, who is this
Ding
guy?
Liren.
This?
Ding Liren.
This is Ding Liren of China, yes. Isn't he number 3 in the world?
Right.
He's the 3rd highest rated player in the world. Okay, let's go on to the next player. This happens to be Wang Hao, the other Chinese player, a very strong grandmaster from China. Okay, let's go on to our next player. Oh, now here is the number 2 rated player in the world, our own Fabiano Caruana of the United States, born here. Then actually he went to Italy. He was born in Florida, grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Then the family moved to Italy. Then he came back to the United States. He plays for the United States. He played actually the last World Championship title match with Carlsen. Was it last year or the year before? I forget. Maybe it was last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay, Fabiano Caruana. Okay, so he's there. And this happens to be, this must be Jan Nepomniachtchi. Yeah, right.
I'll leave you to pronounce it, yeah.
Right. He's actually, now, is he a Russian?
I believe he's Russian.
He's Russian, right, Nepomniachtchi. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, now, this happens to be Maxime Vachier-Lagrave of France. Now, he wasn't one of the original qualifiers for this candidates tournament.
Right.
Now, why is he here? Why are we showing a photo of Maxime Vachier-Lagrave if he didn't qualify for the candidates tournament?
Because the first photo we showed, Rajabov had decided ahead of time that he wasn't going to play because of the pandemic.
Yes. That first photo, I don't know whether Darren. Yes.
Him, yep.
We'll get back to Timur Rajabov, who told the World Chess Federation, don't do this, don't hold this tournament because of the pandemic.
Right, which was barely a pandemic at that point.
Barely, when they suspended the so he chose not to play, and he was substituted with Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, who ironically, after the first half, they suspended the tournament after the first half of the event. 7 rounds. It was supposed to be an 8-player double round robin. They played 7 rounds, and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave actually, based on tiebreak, you said was actually in first place.
First place, right?
He has what? He has how many points now? 4.5.
You said 4.5.
4.5 points out of a possible 7 after the first half.
Right.
Now, the World Chess Federation is talking about resuming this candidates tournament, playing the second half. They want to do it actually in September, possibly October, but we don't know yet whether that's going to happen. And it's possible that if they do resume it, it won't be resumed in Russia. They may actually choose to find a country, a safer country, where the pandemic hasn't had a much bigger effect than it does in Russia. Okay, now what we're going to do for our Chess Chat fans today, Dave, is to present one of the games from the candidates tournament. What game are we going to present to our Chess Chat fans?
So this was round 2.
Yes, who played in round 2?
And this is Caruana had white.
Fabiano Caruana with white.
Fabiano was the highest rated player in the candidates.
Yes, right, being number 2 in the world.
Being number 2 in the world.
Okay.
And he was playing Alexenko. Who was the wild card, and so was the lowest rated player in the tournament.
And also the lowest rated, also the youngest, I think.
The youngest, so this is looked at as a game that Caruana would really want to win. The highest versus the lowest, he's got white, so he's going to be pushing to win the game.
Okay. So you said Fabiano Caruana had white. What was his first move?
So what did he play? He opened with d4.
A good opening move.
Good opening move.
Okay, we've played that numerous times on Chess Chat. Okay, what was actually Alexenko's reply?
Alexenko played knight f6.
Okay.
One of the most common replies.
Yeah, a very good reply.
Yep.
Okay, how did actually Fabiano continue? Move 2.
So he continues with c4.
Again. And that's the most common play.
Very standard, yeah.
I mean, knight f3 was possible, but c4 is, I think, is more commonly played after d4 is played. All right, so what did Black do on move 2?
e6.
e6, okay, which opens actually now for the dark squared bishop.
For the dark squared bishop.
All right, it's Fabiano's 3rd move. What does he play?
He plays knight c3.
Now, what is he after playing knight c3, what is he threatening to do on his next move? By playing knight c3, doesn't that actually prepare?
I would say, he's preparing to completely take over the center.
Right, So, what does Black do in response to that?
Plays bishop to b4, pinning the knight against the king.
And stopping White from playing the e-pawn to e4. Okay.
And again, this is a very popular queen pawn opening.
Now, what is this? Now, is this defense what Black is playing? Does this have a name?
Nimzo Indian.
Nimzo Indian. Now, why is it called the Nimzo Indian? Do we know why? All right.
Probably Nimzovich is.
Okay. Yes, Nimzovich. Most of the players in this country call him Nimzovich, but actually himself, he called himself Nimzovich.
Okay.
Aaron Nimzovich. He was born in Riga, Latvia. He settled in Denmark. He became a Danish citizen about 1922, I believe. He lived there to the rest of his life. He died in Copenhagen, 1935. He was the one that developed this defense. This is actually considered a hyper-modern defense, but a very good defense. A very good defense. You know, what are actually the players of the club? You know, Tom Fraterelli? He likes this is a defense he likes.
Yep.
The Nims-Winnie defense. All right, so what are the choices? Maybe we have no time, but what are some of the choices White has now? Is Fabiano's now fourth move? What can he play?
I think this is the most common. Knight F3 is that true?
Actually, move that Gary Kasparov likes. Yeah, that's a nice move. Now, what is the class? There's a classical situation of Queen C2. We'll show that Queen C2.
Oh yeah, sure. So when he captures, he can
the pawns are not doubled. Yep.
Pawns are not doubled.
Okay, possible to play the Queen to B3, attacking the bishop. In fact, Rudolf Spielmann, the Austrian player, played that. All right, but what did Fabiano didn't play any of this. Queen C2, Queen B3.
So he played a move that he said later that he's sure his opponent wouldn't have prepared because I guess he had never played it before, which is F3.
Okay.
So he's preparing to completely take over the center. The downside is, you're taking this square away from the knight. You're not developing a piece.
Okay. So it's a good preparation for E4.
Yeah, so he...
all right, so what does
the press conference afterward, he said it was a very fighting line, but it's also very risky for White.
Okay. So how did Black respond to F3?
So he plays D5.
Okay.
Trying to contest the center.
Right. It's contesting that E4 squares being contested here.
Right.
All right. So how did Fabiano continue?
Fabiano plays A3.
Aha.
Say putting the question to the bishop. Now the bishop has to either exchange or retreat.
Okay. So what did Fabiano choose?
So he chose to retreat. The most common move is to exchange here and double up the pawns.
Right.
But he played bishop e7, and this was played earlier in the year. Anand beat Firouzja.
Oh, really?
In Wijk aan Zee, I believe.
Okay. In Holland, yes.
So it was speculated this might be part of the reason why he was trying this line instead of the usual.
Okay.
So
after bishop e7, what did Fabiano play now?
So Fabiano now plays e4.
Okay, e4.
Going ahead with the plan to completely take over the center.
Okay, that was his sixth move. Okay.
Yep,
so
e4.
Black's move, Black's sixth move. What's happening here? We have some exchanges.
So he exchanges. D takes e4.
Okay. And of course, what the White does in response is take back which way. He's going to recapture
F takes e4
with the F pawn.
So now he's completely got the center controlled.
Right. All right. So he controls
got
the center.
All 5 squares controlled here.
Okay. Black's move. Black's what? Now it's actually move 7 for Black.
Move 7. So he has to do something to break up the center. He plays c5.
Now we have a double attack on the depot. We have the pawn on c5 and the queen.
Right, is attacked.
So
twice.
we have that pawn is under attack. All right. So what does Fabiano do in response?
So Fabiano pushes d5.
That's his 8th move.
Yeah.
Okay. Alexenko's now 8th move. What does he do?
He takes d5.
D takes e5. And Fabiano recaptures which way?
He recaptures this way. I mean, you could go either way.
Okay, but that's the best way to recapture with the f pawn. Yeah. Okay. So now it's Black's move. What does he do?
Black castles.
On his 9th move.
9th move.
Okay. All right, it's Fabiano's 9th move coming up. How does he continue?
He develops the bishop, e2.
Right, plays there, which also stops the bishop, by playing the bishop e2, it stops the bishop going to g4,
right?
So that's a very good move, playing the bishop e2 instead of d3. He could have played a d3, but of course, Black would have responded with an attack on the queen with bishop g4. All right, so after bishop e2, what does Alexenko do now?
Rook to e8.
Okay, because it has no future on f8.
Right. So
it moves over to the open, wants to be on the open file.
Could be an open file, yep.
Now what can Fabiano do? What did he do?
So now he develops the knight to f3.
Okay. All right, so it's Black's move. How does Black continue?
Now he plays bishop to g4.
Okay, so he attacks the knight, develops the bishop. The bishop is now in play. And now it's Fabiano's 12th move.
Now he castles.
All right, so he's tucked away here on the king side. All right, now what does Black do?
Knight b to d7.
Right.
Continuing his development.
Okay, a good development there. In fact, the best square for that knight. Okay, now what does Fabiano do?
Now it's the first really critical move of this game where Fabiano plays d6.
Okay.
So this is a very sharp move. He thought about it for like 6 minutes, I guess.
Oh, really? Before he played D6, he
about 6 minutes he spent on this.
Okay.
He mentioned in the press conference that, you know, he and his team had done preparation.
Yes.
And his memory was a little hazy on this, so that's why he probably took his time to make sure that this is what they had been thinking about originally. The danger is this pawn
is now could be under attack.
Can't be defended by another pawn anymore.
No.
So
right.
It could end up being a strong pawn that's like stuck in the heart of the position.
Right.
Or it could end up being a weak pawn that gets lost because it can't be protected by other pawns.
But what this move does is forces Black's next move. Black only has one move here.
So Black plays bishop f8.
The old move here, yeah. The old move, the Black bishop f8. Yeah, do we see it?
Yep.
Okay. So now it's Fabiano's 14th move coming up. What does he do?
So he sort of puts the question to the bishop on the other side. He plays h3.
Okay.
So again, the bishop has to either exchange or retreat. And if he were to exchange, that bishop would be very powerful on that diagonal.
So that would not be good to exchange. Bishop takes on f3. So he retreats.
Bishop to h5.
Okay, a good move. All right, now what does Fabiano do? It's his 15th move. How does he continue?
So part of the reason for putting this pawn here is that he can sink a piece in here.
Oh yeah! Wow. The threat now is actually to bring the knight
to come here.
Wouldn't that be forking the two rooks?
Forking the two rooks.
And winning what we call the exchange, one of the rooks.
Yep.
So now again, what does Black do in response to knight b5?
So at this point, Aleksenko took 30 minutes.
He took 30 minutes before he played his next move?
To play the next move.
Okay.
And I think Caruana said he was kind of expecting rook to b8 to get played.
So the rook's going to be forked, after they came in.
And so this move was criticized a little as not being perhaps the best.
Yeah.
But he spent 30 minutes, so he's already getting behind in time.
Okay. Now in this position, after Aleksenko played rook e6, which is dubious, because a beginner, as I look at this, I can see a beginner would make an impetuous move like coming in with the knight.
Looks like you're going to fork the rooks.
Yeah, it looks like actually you're forking the two rooks, but that would be a mistake. Fabiano is not going to make that mistake.
The rook is guarded by, so the rook would take here, attacking the queen, and after the queen.
Well, actually, the knight is actually now under attack. So the knight would have to go back to d5 to save itself. Right. So this would win a pawn for Black. So that would be a mistake if White went in. Yeah, so let's go back to the position with the knight on b5, put the knight back on b5. So yes, is the pawn still on d6? The white pawn is on d6.
The white pawn's, on d6, sorry.
Okay. So if Fabiano realized he cannot, the pawn's on c5, I'm sorry, c5.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Fabiano realizes he cannot sink in and fork.
This doesn't work right now.
So what he does is, what does he play here? So what does he do?
So one of the things he said was that he had wanted to play the bishop to f4 anyway to guard this pawn. So he said this really.
So rook e6, which he played earlier, was a mistake. Okay, he should have actually played the rook over, as he himself pointed out, to b8.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does Aleksenko play now? Oh, so he
plays a6.
All right, a6,
forcing him to move the knight.
And now what is the knight? Where's the knight go?
Where he had intended, knight c7.
Okay, that's move 17. He attacks the rook. Now, does Black move that rook that's under attack? Yeah. Well, actually, he's got two rooks.
Two rooks under attack.
He's forking the two rooks here.
He's forking the two rooks. So Black plays rook e4, counterattacking the bishop.
So it's almost like what we call it Zwischenzug. It's an in-between move. He's able to save that rook by attacking the bishop on f4 with rook e4.
And now
what happens?
It would have been possible to take this rook.
Yes.
But then the bishop would have been lost, and the variations they looked at, he probably would have ended up dropping this pawn also. So Caruana didn't want to go in for that.
So he didn't want to. So he did not want to take.
He retreated the bishop to h2.
Okay. And it's a good thing he had played h3 to allow that retreat to h2. Okay, that was good. All right, so how is Aleksenko going to play now? Now he has to save the rook.
So now he saves the rook by playing it to c8.
Okay, that was move, 18?
Yeah.
All right, Fabiano's move, what is he doing?
Now things get very interesting here. He plays g4.
Right.
And it would have been possible to retreat.
Yes. But
it looked like it was going to be a very uncomfortable position after
Bishop D3.
White played here, and he didn't want to go in for that, so he ended up sacrificing the bishop for 2 pawns.
Yep. All right, so he takes. All right, so he's sacrificing the bishop on G4. Fabiano is going to recapture with the H pawn.
G4. Yep.
H takes G4.
Yep.
Okay. And then he actually now Aleksenko carries out winning the second pawn.
Yep. So he takes with the knight.
So he's actually exposing this king. He sacrificed to gain 2 pawns.
Right.
But he's actually has weakened, softened up actually this king side.
White has no coverage with pawns in front of his king. He's completely naked.
All right, so it's Fabiano's 21st move. What does he do?
Bishop to D3, attacking the rook.
All right. Ooh, okay.
So now, things can get very complicated here. There's a lot of choices.
Right.
You know, he could withdraw the rook, but he
chooses instead
to take on H2, attacking the other rook.
All right, so knight to H2 was actually Aleksenko's 21st move. And now Fabiano Bishop takes on E4. All right. And how does Aleksenko continue? He takes the rook on F1. Yeah. Okay. And of course, in response to that, is Fabiano queen takes F1, the rook on F1.
And now Caruana in the press conference said that
a mistake.
This was no. He said this was a comfortable situation.
Okay.
He said he had a lot of time on his clock.
Oh, okay.
And he felt his position was very safe, mainly because he has this square here to put his pieces on.
Okay.
So a nice outpost on D5.
All right. So what did? It is now Black's move, right?
Black's move, and so he decides to get rid of this pawn, the thorn in his position. But
he has something better.
But Caruana, again, afterwards said he felt like the only way for Black to try and stay in the game was to play Knight F6,
okay.
You know, attacking here and covering that outpost.
Right.
So he felt like this was not the best move.
Not the best move. All right, okay. Because remember, they went over this game. After the game was played, they analyzed this, and they came to this conclusion that there were better moves. All right, so
now this knight's no longer defended.
So it has to retreat?
So it has to retreat, retreats to D5, but he's happy to sink it in there. There's nothing
that was move 24 with the knight D5. Now, wait. Now, what is there, okay, it's White's move, right?
Yep.
Okay, what did
Fabiano do now? He plays no, Fabiano just played here, so Aleksenko.
Oh, okay, he played there. Okay.
Plays G6.
G6, all right, okay. All right, so he continues, Fabiano
starts bringing the queen in.
Now, I see a threat here. After queen H3.
Yes.
The threat, what's the threat you see?
The threat is the queen can take the knight.
Yes.
If the queen takes back, this knight comes in forks,
and it would win a piece.
So he's won the piece.
He's won a piece. So that's White's threat, to take the knight on D7 with the queen. Of course, Black sees that threat.
Sees that, puts the king on G7.
But actually, was that a good way to respond? Was there something better than king G7?
That I don't know.
Because actually, could he have played actually? Well, actually, there was actually a possibility. Well, no, okay. So he played queen G7. All right.
Right.
So it stops this the threat of queen takes D7 with the fork. Okay. So Black's move. What's he going to do? No, it's White's move. I'm sorry.
It's White's move. He plays king H1.
Now,
so he's opening up this G file for his
rook.
He
vacated the G1 square for that rook to come, because that rook has no future on A1. Has to get into play, be brought over to G1, the empty square. All right, so what does Black do after Fabiano played king H1? Let me see my glasses here.
95.
95, okay.
And now, at this point,
all right.
Let's see, Aleksenko had to make 14 moves still, and he had about 5 minutes on the clock, and there's a 30-second increment with each move.
Oh, they get 30 seconds added
so he had less than a minute a move for the next 14 moves, and Caruana at this point had over an hour left.
Oh boy,
so
big time difference.
Big time difference. So Caruana's got all the time in the world to think. Aleksenko doesn't.
So it's Fabiano's move. How did he continue?
Fabiano's move. So I mean, obviously he could have just exchanged.
Yes.
But when you're attacking, and the amazing thing is, Caruana's the one doing the attacking here. He has a totally naked king, but he's the one on the attack.
Exactly, yeah.
He plays knight to h4.
Okay, very good move. All right. So, oh, wait a minute. I see it now. I see a threat here. After the knight h4, I see a threat of bringing the knight to f5 check. Oh, no, not yet. I'm sorry. No, the rook would have to come over to g1 first. The
rook first, all right.
All right. So how did Alexenko respond to knight h4? Oh,
plays h5.
h5. Okay. Now, was this move criticized, h5?
I don't know. I think he's in trouble no matter what. So
okay, rook g1.
Rook to
okay,
g1,
that's what Fabiano played.
Adding to the attack.
Okay, all right.
And here, bishop to f8, you know, I think the comment was it's hard to find good moves for black right now.
All right, okay.
This doesn't seem really useful, but it's hard to find useful moves.
All right, okay. Now, how much? No, we don't have much time. All right, so all right, so how did Fabiano continue?
Fabiano brings the knight over.
Okay, so he's on f4.
F4, so I mean, he could take here because this pawn is pinned.
That was move 29. Okay, so 29. Now how did Alexenko continue?
Alexenko plays knight g4 to block the g file.
That was his 29th move. Fabiano's move, what does he do?
He's going to bust open the position by taking on h5.
Okay, so that so how does black just recaptures?
Black recaptures.
G takes h5, okay.
G takes h5.
Now what does Fabiano do?
Now Fabiano plays bishop f5, so now he's attacking the rook.
We got to attack on the rook.
He's attacking the knight, threatening to just blow this wide open.
All right. So what does he do? All right, so black decides, okay, I'm going to have to counterattack and try to actually gain something, have a double attack on the knight.
On the knight, it's the knight's attack twice.
So he's trying to at least get the knight if he's going to lose the rook. How did he continue?
Caruana takes the knight.
Bishop takes g4. Okay.
This up.
Okay, and what did Alexenko do now?
Okay, so we haven't shown that move yet.
All right, we'll wait until that move is shown.
Okay, yeah. Now bishop, there we go.
All right, now we see it. Okay. So it is now black's return, and black takes the bishop on g4 with the pawn. Yep. That was move 32, I believe. And in response, we have a check. Is this the first check of the game?
Is it? I think it is.
Yeah, I think queen takes g4 check, and it's going to force actually.
He has to play.
He blocks.
He pretty much has to.
Right. He can't move the queen because he'll actually allow the queen to come down with check.
Yeah, he's going to get checkmated.
He's going to be checkmated.
Bishop to g4.
Okay, so
g5. Sorry.
All right.
And
right.
So now, I mean, Caruana could have just taken here.
Yeah, he could have taken there.
It should be an easy win.
He'd be a full piece ahead.
Full piece up.
Full piece up.
But instead, he actually plays a better move. Queen to h5.
Right, queen h5 is very strong. Yeah, queen h5.
And now, this is where black resigned.
Yeah, because he realized he's
going to get checkmated.
He's going to be checkmated. Even if he moves the pawn up here.
About the best he could do is this to guard.
Right, and then actually we either have a knight at f5 check is possible.
The knight can come in.
Yeah, it's going to be made. In fact, after the knight f5 check, the king has to move, and then we're going to be taking on g5.
There's so many ways. Yeah, the queen could come down here.
All right. All right. So this is where Alexenko resigned.
He resigned
after Fabiano's 34th move.
So this tied Caruana for first place with I think three other people at this point after round 2.
That's right, because he's a full point behind Maxime Vachier-Lagrave.
Now, but after round 2, he was tied for first.
He was tied for first after this. Okay. So again, it should be interesting. Do you have any predictions as far as, do you think Fabiano is going to repeat?
I'd like to see him.
I'd like to see him
come back, but that's a tough.
Yeah, because actually he has to make up that he's 1 point he's behind.
1 point and 7 games, and
exactly. All right.
There's 2 players I think who are tied for first, so it's going to be tough.
Okay. Well, Chess fans, we hope you enjoyed the game that they presented to you on our return to FATV after a 4-month hiatus. We promise to give you a good show next time. We don't know what's going to be, but you stay tuned, and we'll entertain you and educate you on the beautiful game of chess. Stay tuned.